Hello, greetings from Boonary TV. In today's topic, we will see the history behind the photograph of the vulture and the little girl. A picture that shook the entire world. The photographer who clicked the picture later committed suicide. Why? Watch ahead. This is a picture that was clicked in 1993. It was clicked in the South African Sudan. It was clicked in the village of Ayod. This place had been terribly struck by famine. Why? It was because of the civil unrest and war. In this area, from among children who were under 5 years old, many of them were malnourished, and the figure was nearly 40% of the child population. It is estimated that every day in that place 10 to 13 adults die of starvation. In order to raise awareness of the situation, it was decided to call for reporters and journalists and invite them from all over so that they could play a vital role in projecting the conditions there to the world. It was important for the world to know what was happening there, and that was when a person, Kevin Carter, reached that place. Who was he? Take a look. The person's name was Kevin Carter. What was his profession? He was a photojournalist. Unlike any other journalists who gather information by interview or write articles and then publish or convey their news through papers or media, a photojournalist is the one who shares news through photographs. After Carter reached that place, he began clicking a lot of pictures of people in sickness, hunger, who were terribly affected. And after clicking pictures all day, he was exhausted when he headed out into the open bush in the same village of Ayod. That's when he heard some sound. It sounded like someone's pale and dull faded voice, and he was astounded when he came across a small child who was abnormally weak and thin. The child was mere skin and bones. The child was on the way to a feeding center which was organized by the UN. The UN had organized a feeding center as an aid to those victims who were suffering in that area due to the famine. That's when the kid collapsed. That was heartbreaking. Carter took the child's picture, and at that time he saw a plump bird that had landed nearby. This bird feeds on carcasses. It's called a vulture. The vulture looked ready to nibble on the fainted child. Carter had reportedly been advised not to touch the victims because of disease. So, Carter had no choice. He then scared the creature away and the vulture flew. Seeing that was very devastating for Carter. He then wept and talked to God. Later, it was known that the little kid was not a girl but rather a boy. And this picture of Carter was later published in the New York Times. It was something which was never seen before. Carter got an award for the same. What was that? Watch ahead. Kevin Carter received the Pulitzer Prize. What is that? It is an annual award for outstanding achievement in photojournalism. And Carter received the award in 1994. But after receiving the prize, Carter's life was not as glorious as one would have thought. That was the beginning of troubles he had to face. He was criticized for not coming forward and helping the little boy. He was alleged of being inhuman and not showing any concern for the needy child. Carter was emotionally affected by it. Later on, it seemed to reveal that the child who had fainted did survive that time. And yet, at around the age of 14 years, the child died from fever. Carter had received the award on 27 July 1994, and nearly 4 months after receiving the award, Carter drove to an area where he used to play as a child. He stopped his vehicle and came out of it. He then went near the vehicle's exhaust pipe at the rear and taped one end of a hose pipe to his vehicle's exhaust pipe and running the other end to the driver's side window. He started the engine and the vehicle was filled with the hazardous gas, which is called carbon monoxide. That's how he committed suicide at the age of 33. His suicide note stated that he was really very sorry. He was haunted by the vivid memories of the pictures captured, and so he decided to give up his life. That was the end of his life.